Us off. Welcome everyone to today's EDC Cultivate and Ignite Tech Program Virtual Open House. My name is Tracy Snyder and I am the Economic Development Collaborative Communications and Marketing Manager. We're really happy to have you with us today. Before we get started, I'm going to review a few housekeeping items. For this special open house, this presentation is actually being held in the Zoom meeting format, which means that everyone has access to their cameras and microphones. So if you can, we'd love to have you keep your cameras on. We love to see your beautiful faces. But I am going to ask everyone to take a second and make sure that they are muted. At the end, you'll have an opportunity to unmute during the breakout room portion of the meeting and at the end to ask questions. But since we're a pretty large group, it would be great if everyone could keep those microphones on mute for now. Since we're putting this in a little bit of a different format than most of our webinars, I'm going to review the agenda real quick to let everyone know where we're headed. So Bruce Sensley, the EDC's president and CEO, and then Ray, the EDC Small Business Development Center director, are both going to share a few words to kick us off. After that, Elaine Rodriguez, our tech and innovation specialist, is going to give us a presentation on what Cultivate and Ignite Tech program is, help everyone understand what's going on. Then we're going to be using the breakout room function to have some more interactive conversations before we come back to the whole room for a review of the breakout room discussions and to take questions from the audience. For now, though, if you do have any questions during the presentation, please feel free to put them in the chat and I will save them for the end and can ask them to the room when it's time. As you've probably seen, this is being recorded, so you'll receive an email with the link to the recording along with any resources that we talk about in the next few days. We'll also share a copy of today's PowerPoint presentation, so we've got it all covered for you. If you run into any technical issues today, please put them in the chat. Stephanie Gonzalez, our bilingual marketing assistant, will be available to assist you. So for our new and returning friends, we thank you for joining us. Since 1996, the EDC has been focused on providing a pathway to business growth, economic prosperity, and a high quality of life for all. Today, the EDC serves Ventura, Santa Barbara, and Los Angeles County-based businesses, community partners, and civic leaders. Hosting the region's Small Business Development Center, the EDC provides no-cost professional consulting with a team of over 50 business advisors. And as a community-based lender, our loan program has funded over 21 million in requests and has maintained a commitment to reaching underserved communities with 58% of our loans and 64% of that loan capital awarded to minority and women-owned businesses since 2013. At the end of today's webinar, we'll share the information on how to get started with some of the services that the EDC provides and exactly how you can get started with the Cultivate and Ignite Tech program. The EDC offers all of our services and advising in English and Spanish, so while this meeting is being conducted in English, we're happy to work with Spanish business owners one-on-one. With all that being said, I'm going to pass the virtual mic over to Bruce Sensley to kick us off.
Thank you, Tracy. Good afternoon, all, or good morning, all. Hi, I'm Bruce Sensley, President and CEO of the Economic Development Collaborative, and I've just got a couple of minutes I'd like to share with y'all with a bit of a message for both businesses and for the partners in the group who are supporting businesses within the cities and other organizations. And nothing could be more important than entrepreneurship, which is sort of the topic that I really want to address. And so give me a little bit of latitude here. I'm going to take you a little bit on a ride and then come back to the plan. And in our work in economic development, this is the sort of taking a wide run around the block. We try to do three different things generally. One of them is to try and support, grow and retain the existing business base. Those are entrepreneurs, those are all kinds of different businesses, but they're already in business, and how do you support them? Another aspect of what our peers do in economic development is try to attract new business to a region. And that can be hugely important. You get these big moments of success, but it's the third piece, it's entrepreneurship. It's the creation of new businesses and new jobs by innovation, by creativity, by the talent in your region that is working hard to figure out how to make things work. And we really want to focus on that as not just an economic development strategy, but as one business owner, one entrepreneur at a time. What can we do to support what you're doing to build an economy, to build your life, to build opportunities for workers to find cool jobs in the businesses you create? We do know, however, that entrepreneurship is the trickiest thing to support. How do you do it? What do you do? If you have an existing business, you kind of figure out what you can do to help free up some new revenue and new sales. If you figure out how you can sell your region to bring people to a region. But entrepreneurship, it is so individualized and so unique and so, but the real critical point and why this is so important is the absolute survival, the growth, the competitiveness of a region's economy is dependent on the creation of new businesses. Otherwise, just think of it, you just get stagnant, you get stuck, and you got the same going on. And how do you find ways to create something new, innovative, evolving, growing, transforming? And that's the passion that we're committed to with all of you as partners, with all of you as businesses. So just two other couple of points here. Back in around 2018, it seems like a long time ago, that was a couple of years or a year before pandemic, we did a study looking at what was the so-called entrepreneurship ecosystem of Ventura County. And we discovered actually that it was far more vibrant and interactive and powerful than we had anticipated, but not surprisingly, there are also gaps, right? And so the critical question for us then, and sort of leading us to Cultivate and Ignite today is sort of a new iteration on things that we've already been doing, but very much a new and concentrated effort being led by Elaine and others you'll hear from in a moment, was what can we do in sort of three different areas that are fundamental to supporting businesses and entrepreneurship. And the first is really around how do people and institutions like us develop the right knowledge and resources to help entrepreneurs? How do organizations like us champion entrepreneurship in the local ecosystem, the network of entrepreneurs? And what are the so-called on-ramps? What can we do to better create opportunity for businesses for entrepreneurs, to break into, to get into the pathway to start creating new businesses? Finally, I'll stop because that's what this event or this discussion is about today, is helping everyone here understand what we're doing collectively, not organizationally, individually, but what we're doing collectively to make sure that we've got that network, we've got the on-ramps, and nothing, again, could be more important than this, because our purpose is to create a quality regional life way and opportunities and a great place to live. And there's nothing better than a great place to live, and a place is conducive to creativity and entrepreneurship and creating new businesses. We've got incredible resources at EDC. You'll hear a little bit about Ray Bowman's our SBDC director. Tracy mentioned that we are a lender with alternative capital. But what we really want to do is make sure that we are helping prepare early stage businesses for accessing the resources they need to get over that hump, take off, grow the region, grow the economy, and grow your businesses. We'd be thrilled to be a partner in your doing this. I'll stop there. Ray, it is over to you.
Okay, thank you, Bruce. And so kind of laying out where we are and what got us to this, Bruce talked about our study that we did in 2018 on entrepreneurial ecosystems. So I'm the director of our Small Business Development Center. So we're an SBA program that provides technical assistance to small and medium-sized businesses. And we're part of the Los Angeles network, which is 7 centers that service centers that make up the LA network. We specifically cover Ventura and Santa Barbara County, but we have a couple of other designations that where we cover the entire LA network, which is 3 counties, LA, Ventura, and Santa Barbara, which is in international trade, technical assistance, but also in technology and entrepreneurship technical assistance as well. So we are designated as the provider for tech advising throughout the LA network, which covers all 7 centers that make up the 3 county network of the Los Angeles network of small business development centers. So within that, we've developed our CIPT program, or Cultivate Ignite program, which Elaine will go over. But the SBDC portion of our Cultivate Ignite program is really centered around technical assistance. So the one thing I kind of want to share that kind of adds to this is, so we did this report on the ecosystem, and of course, when you study an ecosystem, you look at what that business ecosystem is, what the key sectors are throughout all 3 counties, how they organize, what the entrepreneurial opportunities are. But then there's also the support networks that support those entrepreneurs. So there's sort of a support ecosystem that centers around all of the different support entities that look at policy or look at access to capital or the entrepreneurship culture, or some of those support actors like legal advice, investors, bankers, human capital. And so one of the things we realized through this study is as part of that support ecosystem, we're one part of this that supports many of these other parts. The finance supports culture. So in our breakouts, we'll be talking about this. But in our study, we not only looked at where we needed to improve in terms of the entrepreneurship ecosystem, but we also looked at where we needed to improve in terms of our different support actors. And so part of our CIPT program was to address some of these gaps that we found when we ranked ourselves throughout the state of California in terms of finance and human capital and so on. So our whole system is to address these things. And we realized that it's not just one entity helping to coordinate entrepreneurship throughout the region. It's really a set of different stakeholders. And our CIPT program is really centered around technical assistance and helping to convene and use all the assets of our partners throughout the county. So we're really excited about this program. In terms of technical assistance, we have over 60 business advisors in our core program and the ability to reach out to several hundred others throughout our network. So we're really thrilled to talk with everyone later on in the presentation and to hear more about it from Elaine. So we're very excited over this program.
Thanks, Ray. Yeah, really excited to have everybody. Welcome. Happy Thursday, almost Friday. I hope you guys had maybe a great short, long week, right? I know we had a holiday on Monday, so everybody's maybe feeling like it's Wednesday. I know I feel like it's Wednesday, but it's actually Thursday, so that's actually really exciting. Hopefully everybody can see my screen okay. Yeah, so as we mentioned, we're working on EDC Cultivate Ignite. We're reigniting this program and actually merging across the county, which is really, really exciting. I'm particularly based out of LA County. I'm in the foothills, but I do travel quite a bit across all 3 counties. And I've had the pleasure to really meet, partners across all 3 counties and get to see some of the amazing work that every single one of you is doing. Again, where our service area is really focused across all 3 counties. And as you guys can see already, we have a ton of economic impact, with $25 million over in venture capital. And we're looking to improve that, right? We're looking to actually get a lot more businesses started and funded. But what exactly are we doing, right? So the Cultivate and Ignite program provides meaningful and analytical feedback, right, to our tech entrepreneurs. So we're looking for startup founders or tech entrepreneurs that are working on different projects. And this program supports their ability to prioritize and focus on resources in areas that are critical for growth, for revenue growth, for scalability, and eventually, right, getting them into the venture capital track and partnership. So we're going to be really working closely with all of our founders as we have so far, but we're looking to expand that through all 3 counties. A little bit about what we do. CITP creates this pathway by providing expert advising. So as Ray mentioned, we have a lot of expert advisors on our team, and we have the ability to reach out to many more, right? If we have a topic or an area that we need support on. We're also going to be offering some training sessions and some workshops for early stage entrepreneurs. We are also going to be doing some pitch panels, and you guys will get to know a little bit more about what that means. Industry panels, and of course, because we're working with several partners across 3 counties, we have access to pitch competitions and other resources like local accelerators and tech development areas, right? So we will talk a little bit about what that development areas could look like, but super excited to really prepare these early stage entrepreneurs get into the pitch competitions that, you know, almost always result in some sort of funding or even just exposure to potential partnerships, to potential, you know, avenues for growth, which I think is a little bit of what we see that they need in their early stages. In addition to that, so areas of advising, you know, 30+ industry experts providing no-cost advising. We almost focus on the 4 pillars, but I think as Ray just mentioned, we have much more than that, right? So product, revenue, team, and systems are the 4 pillar areas of, I think, tech. But in addition to that, we're also going to be talking about fundraising, operations, marketing, logistics. For those of you that already work with EDC, you know that we have a plethora of advisors who focus on so much more than just tech. So in a business, at the end of the day, a tech startup is a business. And so we are looking to support them in all the other areas that they have. Some of our training sessions, you guys are gonna have access to our monthly virtual and in-person training sessions. These are just a few ideas and few training sessions that we're gonna be providing: ideation, business starts creation, startup launch, how to scale your business, and of course, positioning the company for funding, whether it's you know, venture capital or traditional funding. We're going to be talking about all of these different topics on our monthly sessions. We are going to be rotating across county, so you know, you'll have access to all of our virtual sessions because you know, that's the power of the internet. But we're also really looking forward to creating some in-person training sessions that you know, allows us to kind of see you in person, meet some of these founders in person, get to learn more about the ecosystem and learn more about what their needs are. A little bit about the pitch panels. What does that look like? I think we always get questions about like, what does it mean when you're going to pitch? So our pitch panels internally as a program, it's a formal presentation, right? So we get the founder to actually come in and present to a segment of business advisors. So we, you know, vet out the company and we say, okay, what industry are they in? What kind of problem are they solving? And what kind of advice would they really profit from, right? So they go through an actual pitch presentation, just like they would if they were presenting in front of a venture capital group. And then they go through a rigorous like question and answer type of segment, right? Our purpose and our goal with the pitch panels is really to to prepare them as if they were actually going to go in front of a pitch panel, but we're also looking to see where their gaps are and how we can help them better identify pathways, right? So the panel evaluation are analyzed, and we give them detailed feedback and help on different areas that they need to work on their pitch, on their business model, on the gaps that they may have as they are, you know, building their business. And, you know, again, our goal is to make sure that they're getting their pitch really sharp and ready for what could be a real presentation in front of a funder or in front of a partner, or even maybe if they're, you know, pitching to another team member that they're looking to onboard to their team. Ooh, going too fast. Okay. A little bit about industry panel, same thing. But in this particular case, it's kind of like the second step. After they go through our pitch panels or industry panels, we actually bring in industry experts, right, that can provide actual topical expertise. And again, we go through the rigorous evaluation and presentation plan so that they can get feedback so that these entrepreneurs are ready. And again, this is all intended to sharpen the business and the pitch with more in-depth industry knowledge. And I know I talk really fast. I tend to be a super speed talker, so I'm gonna take a pause and see if anybody has any questions on what I've shared so far. And I'm looking at the chat now because I wanna make sure I see this. And we're like in we're in an open meeting too, so you can raise your hand, use an emoji. Okay, no questions. All right. I'll move on really quickly to what are some of our industry concentrations. So while we are prioritizing, all of tech, and we are here to support all tech and innovation, we are also looking at life science technology, information and communications technology, sports and active lifestyle technology, clean tech, agriculture and manufacturing, biotech, and aerospace. So if you have companies that are working on some of these projects or in these industries, we're looking forward to meeting them and seeing how we can support them. Again, these are just kind of like some of the priorities, but we are open to seeing what else is kind of available across the different networks and across your different organizations, and looking to see who else you're working with. So really briefly, we'll talk about some of our key development areas. So as you guys know, some of you have visited some of our key partners, and FathomWorks is one of our key partners who has a space that's focused on rapid innovation and disruption. They have a really cool lab out in Fort Wainimi. We're looking forward to maybe hosting something there so everybody can kind of see the facilities. And we're also working with other partners like Ventura Tech Bridge, which is a strategic partnership within the region. And again, all the partnerships are really curated and cultivated in order to support all of our startup founders. We're working with the different universities across all 3 counties. We're working with different community colleges, and really looking forward to creating more partnerships with all of you that are supporting and working with different ecosystems. So that's actually very exciting, and a little bit of what I'm going to talk a little bit about next. So question I think that everybody's probably has in their mind right now is, how can you get involved? How do we work together? What do we do? How do we collaborate? So if you have a company, you're early stage startup founder or an entrepreneur, you can join us. You can call us, you can email us, you can go to our website and schedule your first meeting, right? So that way you can talk to one of our advisors if you're looking for additional support in any specific area of your business. You can join us, and we go through our intake process. It's you can do it over the phone, you can do it through our website. You can follow us on social media so you know more about what's going on with CITP. We'll connect you with an expert advisor if you're farther along and you're ready to pitch and get an industry or get a pitch panel together. We're ready to do that as well. I think many of the people on the call are actually some of our partners. So partners, we can talk about co-hosting an event, right? That makes sense for your community. You can access our expert advisor. So obviously, if you have a company, a founder, an entrepreneur that is ready to have advising, you can send them our way and they can access our expert advisors. You can join one of our trainings or one of our events, show up, network, meet some of the team, meet some of our other partners. We're going to put you on our emailing list if that's okay. We want to make sure that you guys are sharing our trainings and our events. But we also want to, be reciprocal to that and share your trainings and your events. So many of you are already doing really great work across the counties, and you're putting on, excellent events that maybe our community needs to know about. So please share with us, your trainings and your events, and we're happy to also add them, to our newsletters and whatnot, right? So that we know, so that our founders know where to find all this information. For those of you that are SBDC advisors, not just EDC, but maybe across the network, you can refer a client. You can, again, access other expert advisors. So maybe you're already working with a founder who needs, another set of eyes or maybe another expertise. We encourage you always to join our trainings or join our events so you get to know a little bit more about the community. And same, right? You can share our training, share our events. But you can also co-advise. You can join our pitch panels. You can you have a specific, you have a specific topic that you'd like to teach or that you'd like to facilitate. We're looking for, those topics that you're like really passionate about, and you can, work with us. So really easy, 3 easy ways to get started. Share with us your interest. Schedule a meeting with me if you want to know more about how do we go about collaborating. And you can start advising, you can start co-advising, you can start referring clients our way. So, keep in touch, and you guys can see this is our background. We have a few advisors who are part of our team and are really active in all of our sessions. If we have any SBDC network centers, any of our network centers, same. We're looking to, collaborate and work with you, with your clients. Same, collaborate on some training, some events in your particular, neck of the woods. Again, we're traveling and we're working across all 3 counties. So share with us, how would you like to collaborate? Schedule a meeting with me, and let's just make sure we start working together. And finally, I'll leave this up. If you guys want to take a screenshot or maybe take a picture with your phone, in case you're going to get all this information in the email later, but also I know I like to have it on my phone in case I need to refer anyone. Feel free to stay connected. I know we're going to chat a little bit more in the breakout rooms, and so we'll be able to go a little bit more in depth about how we can collaborate or how we can work together. So, but this is all of our information. And yeah, I'm really excited to kind of get started. I'm excited to see some of you guys in person, because I think, COVID has brought us closer together, but has also physically separated us. So I'm excited to, bring some events to you all and see what your community needs, and excited to support more entrepreneurs across all 3 counties. So I'm going to pass it back to Tracy.
Thank you so much, Elaine, and thank you to Bruce and Ray for your introductions as well. That was a really fantastic overview. So now we're going to get to more of the interactive part here. So before we open the room to questions, it's breakout room time. So everyone has already been assigned to a breakout room by our meeting team, and we'll send you there automatically. There's nothing that you need to do. So there's going to be 3 breakout rooms. You're just going to go to one of them and you'll be there for 15 minutes. So Elaine's group is going to be chatting with businesses and founders that are on our call. So this is a great time to share information about your specific company and learn about what resources might be a right fit for you. Ray is going to be chatting with our local partners. So our county, city, local resource partners. Now is a great time to ask questions and learn how you and your organization can get involved with CITP. And then Bruce is going to be chatting with some of our EDC board members and staff members that are on the call. So like I said, we're going to spend 15 minutes in these breakout rooms, so it's perfect time to ask some personal questions and get involved. When we come back, Elaine, Bruce, and Ray are going to provide quick summaries of key points that their breakout rooms discussed, and then we'll have some extra time for group discussion, questions, and comments. So Stephanie and I are going to be in this main room in case you have any questions or technical difficulties, and you'll be able to jump back to the main session at any time if you need us, or there'll be an option to call a host over in case you need anything. So with that, off you go. I'm going to automatically direct everyone to the rooms now. Hey everybody, welcome back. I'll give it a second for everyone to get reoriented back to this room. Zoom breakout rooms always shut on everyone, so I do apologize if you guys got cut off mid-sentence. But welcome back. It's good to have you back. Okay, looks like we're good to go. So before we hop into big group questions, in case you guys didn't have time to cover anything, I'm going to pass it to Elaine for a quick summary in case there were any resources that your room discussed that you want to highlight.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just wanted to point out, yes, our EDC CITP page is under construction, but that should be up pretty soon. I am going to drop in, and you will get all this information as well, our phone number, email. I'll drop in my email as well if it's helpful for you all to reach out, and we can chat a little bit more in depth. Another thing that I think I didn't quite cover at the beginning, but I'll mention this. How do we classify tech, right? And tech is a very, very broad spectrum, right? Everything from something that's tech adjacent, maybe your business is just heavily focused on utilizing tech, but it's not necessarily building the technology. We can certainly help, right? The EDC SBDC helps small businesses in general. So as long as you are working on something that generates revenue or that is looking to generate revenue, we have different resources that can support you in that sense, right? All the way up to the high tech. We talked about biotech and space engineering and things like that. We have access to those resources. The spectrum is broad. That's the bottom line. And so, you know, don't be shy and don't be deterred if you're like, well, maybe I don't quite fit into that tech category, because we can define tech as so many different things. And I think the pandemic has shown us that that's the key too. So reach out to us, call us, email us, follow us on social media so that we can chat a little bit more in depth. We'll go on a case-by-case basis. We'll review your company, your specific need. And again, like I said, our number one resources are human capital. We have so many amazing advisors who are ready to support, who are ready to help you, who have industry, they're industry experts. And I just can't wait for you guys all to meet them. So.
Thank you so much, Elaine. Yeah, that's really great to highlight. Tech is very broad, and all of your businesses are incredibly unique. Our SBDC team has a ton of expertise. So even if you're thinking this might not fit you, I'm sure that we've got resources and an advisor that is perfect for you that can help you move your business forward. So next, I'm going to pass it to Ray for a quick overview of what you and the partners chatted about.
Yes, a lot of our partners shared what they were doing, which is real exciting to me because a lot of our partners touched on a lot of areas that we certainly care a lot about. One of the things that came out is the whole idea that we tend to forget about defense and aerospace as a technology space, because oftentimes, you know, we hear about technology in terms of sort of the retail, you know, new customer products, electronics, but we often don't hear about the defense side, the tech transfer side. And that's why we've aligned ourselves with Naval Base Ventura, Naval Surface Warfare, the Tech Bridge program, the federal labs. So, you know, we often forget about that space as being important. The other thing that we talked about as a group is there's sort of different customers for our CITP program, right? There's those who are just trying to start up a business, right? And it's technology based. There are those who have a technology but no business model, right? They've made a solution, but they really don't know how to organize a business around it. There are others still that have a technology-based company and they're trying to scale that business, which we can help them do. And then there are those that have a good business model, they have technology, but they need to raise funds. They need to hyper grow. They need to, you know, double 3 times and triple twice in a 5-year period to get major amounts of rounds of funding. And those are all customers that we can help. I think the other thing that's important to note is, why technology? Isn't that just another business? But one of the things that we know is, especially on the marketing end, that customers, because we all adopt technology differently, you know, if we think about our own lives, some of us really embrace technology, some of us hate technology, some of us are kind of laggers in adopting it. So you can imagine if you're an entrepreneur selling technology, you have to appeal to all those different types of customers and consumers. So there's some unique challenges. They're unique to technology that we recognize that we have to address. So that's why we have this carve out for technology and innovation, because one, those companies often don't understand how to traverse those chasms of different types of clients to get and expand their business. And a lot of our technology clients don't know necessarily how to wrap a business model around their technology. And they often have a lot of challenges with understanding how you raise capital and what it takes to do that.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Ray. That's a really excellent point. All right. Okay, Bruce, any final words for us?
So sure, from the staffing leadership board side, just 3 quick comments and then maybe a final comment. The first is we spend a little bit of time chatting about the degree to which we understand that we've got to make sure that while we're having this dialogue sort of externally, that we have it internally with our staff. We have a group of folks who are doing assessment and business engagement and connecting businesses to advisors every day. We see some 2,000 businesses a year, and we got to make sure that our team is effectively networking the businesses that we see, the entrepreneurs that we see, the innovators that we see to these resources. Secondly, just being sort of mindful, looking around the room, who we're not connecting with, is to make sure that we are extending our network through our friends, partners, staff, others, the universities, the community colleges, for example, the private schools, some of those folks that aren't here today. And third and final, I'm simply riffing on, I think it was Gloria's comment, maybe in the chat, we need that elevator pitch. I think we're getting close to it. I'm pretty sure Elaine's got it. She's smiling, and we'll all perfect it and we'll be tested later. Because to do both of those first things that I mentioned, that we get our staff to be able to communicate these resources and assets effectively in hurried connected meetings and other outreach, we need to really be able to pitch this strongly, clearly what we're talking about. And finally, just thanks all of you for attending and your interest. And nothing could be more important, as often said already in this meeting, the sort of creativity, the innovation that business startup is all about. And that's beyond even the technology side. That's just in the guts that it takes to open a business, create it, retain it. It's the opportunity that we live for and we're passionately in support of. Tracy, back to you. I'll be happy to answer any questions from our end as well.
Thank you so much. Yes, I saw those chats. We'll definitely work on that elevator pitch. Zoom really does pressure you when you're leaving that breakout room, when you see that 120 seconds left, to see if you can get it right in.
But by the way, though, I've often been on these Zooms where it's like 45 or 60 seconds. So thanks for the 2 minutes.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. Okay, so I'm sure you had time to ask some personal questions in your breakout rooms, but we do have some extra time here if you want to ask questions to the larger group or make any comments. Since we're in the meeting format, you can unmute yourself. It would be very helpful if you could use the raise hand function so that I can get a list of folks that have questions. Or if you would prefer, you can put the questions into the chat box and I will read them aloud to the team. To kick us off, before we went into the break room, we did have a question asking how that they can schedule a meeting with Elaine. So I'll mention it right now. There's a couple of ways. Of course, you can call our center to get started, or you can send us an email. We'll put that information in the chat, but just for the recording's sake, I'll read it out loud. Our phone number is 805-409-9159, and our main info email is info@edcollaborative.com. And you can let our team know that you were on this call today, a little bit about your business, and they can get you connected to all kinds of resources. And as Elaine mentioned, our CITP website is under construction. We're going to add a lot more information about who our partners are and information from Elaine's presentation today, but we'll put the link in the chat as well to that. It will be updated soon with lots of great information. So with that, do we have any questions? Seeing none, I'm guessing our breakout room panelists really handled it.
That's very generous.
Tracy, one comment I do want to throw out there, that's really an opportunity and something that we certainly see as something we want to look at is in the technology space, in the entrepreneurship space, we really want to focus with an eye on diversity. Because one of the things we do see is there's a lot of diverse entrepreneurs in our community, but they often don't get connected to, the opportunities and the support that they should have. And this is something that's real common in this space, but it's something that we want to address. It's important to us because when we look at the diversity we've been blessed to have with our entrepreneurship, we know that funding tends to be less diverse, rounds of funding and support. So that's something that's really important to us as a program, and it's going to be a major focus for us.
Absolutely, that's a perfect point, Ray. Thank you so much for highlighting that. All right. I'm not seeing any questions, but in case you think of anything later, of course, you can reach out to our phone number or our email or Elaine or anyone that was associated with the call today with your questions. I really appreciate you all being here. We're very excited to have CITP be relaunched, and we really thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks for spending your lunch hour with us.
Thank you, everyone.